So welcome everybody to XR Community 101, XR Community Building 101. We are very excited that you're here. My name is Gabs.
I'm Flavia, and we're really happy to share this moment with you. So let's get started.
Yeah, let's get started. So what can we expect from today? So you might be wondering, what are these two ladies going to tell me today? Well, we have a lot to tell you, but let's start with what you can expect from this. So we're going to learn meaningful methods to form an XR community. As you know, now communities are more important than ever, especially if we think of the M word, the metaverse, right? I mean, we have to find meaningful ways to join in real life to be able to translate this into the virtual world. So we're also going to identify obstacles hindering social interaction because, as you know, we don't communicate the same way. So we have to find a way in which all can benefit from this communication in this community. So we are going to find tools to build authentic professional relationships, which means that we are going to be there to be friends, to find friends, but also to become work colleagues and professionals working together towards a common goal. So, which leads to the last 2 points actually, like how we can meet interesting humans and also how to have fun while networking. So
this is a little bit of our outline for today, what we will cover. And we will start from getting to know who we are. So we always believe that it's important to know who are the humans behind the technology and also the community itself. You will also see the diversity of our team. Then we will also move to the principle of our community, how we build the community, how we keep the community engaged and always active and the exchange together. Then we will have the adventure of social interaction, how we can create something meaningful together, have the interaction together, and not only in the events themselves, but also beyond events. And then move into the content and PR strategies until to the event organizing essentials. So what do you need to plan an event, or how you can then promote this event further. And then we will have a short summary and the last tips from our side.
We're going to give you a bit of pro hacks and some secrets, so keep it to yourself, please. So, getting to know who we are. So, as we said before, like my name, I will start by introducing myself, if that's okay. So, my name is Gabriela Chihan Stanley, aka Gabs. Please call me Gabs. People call me Gabriela when I misbehave, so please Gabs. So I'm the co-founder of an applied immersive entertainment studio here in Vienna, Austria called Frisch. And what we specialize in is to help people learn, understand, and have fun with immersive technologies. We don't get bored one day of our lives. And since we are more than just our work, I'm also a mom-entrepreneur. I'm the mother of a 6-year-old little girl who is fierce, and I love it. I'm also the lovely wife of my co-founder, actually. So we share everything in this relationship. And I'm also the mother of a cat. So a little bit of humble bragging. In 2018, I was selected by Forbes as one of the top 20 women founders, which was of Europe, which was a yay moment. So this is me.
Congrats for that.
Thank you.
So yeah, a little bit about me. I'm Flavia Mazzanti, and I'm also a co-founder of the startup or company Imiria. So we started last year, and we focus on experimenting with immersive media and the medium video game, and we aim to develop and provide new ways of perception and interaction. So a little bit also about my background. I come from media art and architecture, and I'm also half Italian, half Brazilian. So there are strong connection to South America. And I moved to Vienna in 2017. I did my studies here, and then I met also my husband, which is also the co-founder of our company. And together with his brother, we all started Imiria. And yes, we are here, super excited.
It's so nice, right? Because you started your company with your husband, like I also started the company with my husband, and now it's like two husbands and wives building a community. So we're actually really excited to share this journey, and we're also working together in some projects. So as you can see, communities work for this purpose. So moving on, of course, now you know about who we are, and we would like to tell you now about XRVienna. Who is XRVienna as a community? So would you like to share this? And
yes,
then we...
So with XRVienna, we already actually started in 2015, and we are a community of everything which is from virtual reality to augmented reality and extended mixed reality. And we are actually a family. So it's maybe you want to tell a little bit about the story of how we got started.
Absolutely. Well, back in 2015, actually, a long time ago it feels, considering how the community was evolving and how the technology was evolving. Back in 2015, a handful of professionals and enthusiasts got together with 3 questions in mind. We just had 3 questions in mind. Who else was out there? What did they know? And how we can grow together as professionals. So this is, in a nutshell, how XRVienna was born. So 7 years and 1,200 members plus later, we are very happy to have created a family, as you said, like to have joined forces to have this little family that doesn't have to live up to unnecessary expectations or that we focus very much on the atmosphere of, right, to make people feel welcome and at home without having to have a title hanged on their chest saying I'm this or that. Like we put the person behind the technology always. So as Flavia was saying, we are Austria's first and biggest platform. Like we didn't know that we were going to achieve this, but here we are talking to you about it. So we are Austria's first and biggest platform for dialogue and networking between XR professionals and also between creators and users, because this platform for dialogue didn't exist before, right?
Yes, and I think also really putting the value also on the humans or the people behind. It's something super important for XRVienna and creates a completely different atmosphere than other communities, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we are dealing with human experience in XR, so why not bringing the human to the communities as well? So what is our mission? Because, of course, every community, as you will see later on in our presentation, every community has an approach. But not because of that they're more or less important, but we all tackle XR technologies from a different angle. So what is our angle? Would you like to share with us, Flavia?
So on the one hand, we have the scope of bringing together creatives and also connect them together with companies, institutions, also the local XR scene. At the same time, we're also expanding internationally. So it's for us also really nice to see how in these 7 years, starting from really locally in Vienna, we are now expanding, having so many other countries and international partners, and also providing or having more job opportunities for the creatives. And on the other hand, we have the users, which are, it's always so difficult sometimes to come in to know or to meet the creators. So sometimes users are seeing someone who creates and don't know how to approach them. And XRVienna, it's there for this. So it's really a platform, a place where you come and you connect together with other Austrian XR talents. Sometimes we also have international speakers. We hope always more. So it's a really place of where to exchange knowledge and bring different people together, from the users to the creators.
No, absolutely. I mean, there's no one creator fits all solution. I mean, this is something that we learned through our journey. So the fact that XRVienna is focusing on these aspects of the humanity of the projects is precisely what helps users or institutions or companies, right, to find the perfect creator for their professional needs. Or their personality, right? I mean, it's not just about work in this case. So this all summarizes in our ethos of our community, that is no ego, no shame. Under our roof, we're all equal. So what does it mean? In XRVienna, there's no superstar or there's no rookie. Someone that is a veteran, right, that can learn so much about the fresh ideas of students, for example, or seeing their problems from a different perspective. And also with students, right, I mean, like they can learn from the experience of these veterans. So we don't believe in rookies or superstars.
Yeah, I think something super from XRVienna and myself, I approached XRVienna and I was still a student, for example, and it was super inspiring to meet these, like the creators, and to able to approach them and to have this exchange and not to be afraid of maybe also sharing like my opinion or so, because we are all with no ego, no shame, and the creators are also not showing their ego, but really approachable and there to help people and also students. So for me, it was also new in Vienna, coming to XRVienna meetings. It was really amazing, and that's also why I'm super happy to be here today and sharing this experience with you.
That's super nice, because Flavia and I actually met through the XRVienna events, and we started collaborating because of this atmosphere. So what you're seeing here, I mean, everything that we accomplished is actually the result of these first events to keep this no ego, no shame as a strong point. So we're very grateful for that, no? That life was crossing paths for us, and then we can do this together. So, I mean, the best testimonial that we got, like we always put this in the presentations because it's always very funny, is that we all know that we are there actually not just to make friends, but also to make business, right? But sometimes networking doesn't feel too natural, or it feels a bit like, okay, I have to say how great I am, no? But then there was someone at XRVienna coming.
You're afraid to approach someone. Or...
Exactly, you're afraid because you're like, okay, what am I going to tell to this person, right? I mean, what am I going to say to Chihan, right? But in the end, there was someone that came and said, yeah, but XRVienna is great because, you know, it's the networking without the networking. We were like, yes, good, mission accomplished, right? So it was really great to receive that feedback. So we are a tiny but mighty team. Would you like to tell us more about the team?
Yes, so actually Gabs is the founder, together also with Axel. They are also Frisch, as you already said. And then there's also me and Manuel, which is my husband, and we are Emiria. And together, we have also a really much stronger network of volunteers and partners. So we have many people who also collaborate and help us on a voluntary basis for the XRVienna events. And we are really grateful for that, because there's always so much to do, and we are really a small team. And this it's also nice to see the engagement of people who maybe come to the events and then after they want to help in some way and to provide something for the next event or for the community itself.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the reason as well why we are like a diverse team, because we all have a different approach. Like we formed XRVienna. This is something that we're going to talk with you about later on in this video. Like, why is it important to have a diverse team when it comes to content, right? And so we focus on different tracks, but then each of us owning, let's say, a different track, we work together to create one single storytelling. And we're not going to go too much into detail with this because we're going to talk with you about this later. But each of us has a different approach to technology, and we put our superpowers together to make every single XRVienna event, which makes us greater than the sum of our parts. So what did we achieve so far by having this approach, right? So we have worked for 7 years now in the community. I mean, it feels like forever because the technology is
time.
Right. I mean, the technology is not the same as it was before, and also the community is not the same as it was 7 years ago, right? So
and we also survived COVID and everything, which is together with having a community. And I think we are even stronger than before, maybe.
Absolutely. We always found a way to nurture the community one way or another. So yeah, I mean, that also allowed us to have, like, as Flavia was mentioning before, national and international partners, both from the private sector, from the public sector, and also professionals, right? So this is also what we were discussing about the diversity, right? I mean, like, we try to keep the partners and team as diverse as possible to be able to cater to as many people as possible with substance. Yeah. So, in a nutshell.
So just a little bit of a summary of what we said until now about the professional development, or how I think it's always important to try to find also the balance between how professional is the community, but also the human part of it. And this is what we are trying with XRVienna. Then collaborations are a super important part, because it's always creating this strong relation with people, this exchange. And not knowing that you're not the only one, but everyone is unique, or every community is unique, and how this community can also interact together, come together, and have an interesting conversation together.
Absolutely. I mean, we are so much stronger than the sum of our parts, and the community keeps reminding us about this statement every single day. So now we enter a bit into the meat section or the soya meat version, let's say, of this program that we're presenting to you today. So the principles of a community. Okay, so it's nice and great, no? Like we were sharing our personal story of how we founded XRVienna, but all of your stories are going to be different. Right? I mean, you would have different needs, you would have different audiences, you could have, I mean, you're living in a different part of the world, perhaps, or you know, I mean, there's so many factors involved in building a community. So for us, what helped us a lot in our journey to discover what's, like how to approach this community was these 4 main points,
yes.
right?
Yeah. So I think the first one is really like how we can contribute or what is unique in your community. So how to bring something new and how you can contribute to the whole spectrum of the whole market for everybody. And then this also comes together with a vision and mission. So what is my community, or what we want to achieve with the community, and really to find these strength points and work a lot on them, and also working on yourself and on the community, like growing together. And I think this is a really beautiful point, because like we in these 7 years we grow together, and I think the point is not only having how to start a community or have a community, but really how to keep this community and how to grow together with the community.
Absolutely, so, absolutely. How to grow it meaningfully.
Yes.
Right? I mean, it's not a race. It's something that, I mean, we're forming a family, right? And families are together with strong bonds. So what does those strong bonds mean? Is something that your vision and mission keeps it very clear throughout your whole journey. So again, talking about the core theme that we were teasing before, and now to talk about this in concrete, like your core theme should include a diverse team as much as possible, right? I mean, like what do we, or me and my team, know? What expertise do they bring? Because for example, as at XRVienna, like we try to cover 4 different tracks. That is the entrepreneurship, tech, arts and culture, and science. And these are our tracks, but probably you would have like different tracks that you would have to work with. But choose 1 person per track to create your storytelling. And last but not least, this is very important. Like, find collaborations and ways to pay for your event. It doesn't have to be a lot of money, but you also don't have to invest everything on your own. And finding the right partners to collaborate with is also going to bring you the knowledge that you need to be able to afford these events, whether that means 20 people or 50 or 2,000. So, the adventure of social interaction. What do we mean by that exactly?
Yeah, I think the social interaction is a really important part of the community itself, because it's not only showing the business side, but really also coming together, having this exchange. And as we said, XRVienna wants to create this platform between users and creators. So the interaction is an integral part of it. And so the first thing is overcoming the personal obstacles. And I think this is something which we already mentioned before, also like being a student maybe and not knowing how to approach people. But on the other hand, also if you have a successful company, maybe you leaving this ego part and really approach people and having this genuine communication, which is not only thinking about what can I get from this person, but really like the human side of connection and being stronger together. And on the other hand, we have also this, like all this brings together with a cozy atmosphere. So with XRVienna, we always try to have a safe and friendly space, which is at the same level for everybody. So where everyone feels on the same level, motivated also to engage with others, because there is no pressure of who is like up and down, but it's just everyone on the same level.
Absolutely. No, I mean, absolutely. I mean, like, this is why, like, the point number 3 talks about the Goldilocks, like finding your Goldilocks point, right? I mean, not too professional, but also not too informal. And this is something that, again, as you can see, all roads point to our ethos, that is no ego, no shame, right? I mean, when it comes to networking, for example, what are the things that we consider a no-go? A no-go would be that we just accept someone to be a speaker just because this person is paying us money to do it and then just saying whatever that doesn't have to do with our philosophy, right? And also the same goes with people who just want to attend the events with the intention of saying, oh, how great I am. No, I just want to put my colleagues or my students here to just have an atmosphere that they can talk. No, you either make it meaningful or you go home. And this means something different for everybody. So try to find how much professionalism you need in order to get your goals done, and how much humanity you have to bring to the events in order not to make it too informal, right? In order to make it worth people's time.
Yes. And I think also, as you said, like the diversity, having this diversity of also topic that we have, for example, in XRVienna, and the people behind it, also generates different kind of events. So it's not just always the same format. Sometimes we have more informal events, maybe like a Christmas gathering together, where it's really a lot about the networking. But other events maybe are more focusing also on the business part or in the artistic part. And I think this is also something nice and exciting for the audience itself.
Absolutely.
And, yes.
No, absolutely. I mean, this is something that, again, like opening the topic of content, right? I mean, how do we create the right format, the right content, and the right communication of these events? And as Flavia said, there's no one event fits all formula, because it really depends. We try to include our community members as much as possible in how we create the content, which means that if someone has a more visual way to represent the project, then we create an experience corner, right? An experience corner that people can directly experience experience the experience, for lack of a better word. For now, and sometimes it's very interesting to know how these creators got to the solution that they created, right? So it's maybe a panel discussion would be better for this purpose. Yes. So it's not only about the content itself, but it's also about the format, and content and format are dictated by your community members. So how do you communicate all this? Because it's also, again, kind of like an alchemy, right? Like what points do we have to keep in mind?
Yes. So first of all, finding your voice. So how can you find the identity of our community? So as we said, we should really focus on this uniqueness of your community, what makes it really special. And every community will be different. So you just have to find your uniqueness and also connect to the others. And as you also said about the content before, I think also sometimes there are different kinds of speakers or people who want to show their products. So not everyone wants to stay really on a stage and present their work. Some maybe prefer to have this experience corner to show just and let people try their experience. Others prefer just to sit and to have a fireside chat. So it's also there really the question of making also the speakers and everybody feel comfortable in the format. So that's also important of content creation, and how can you combine the knowledge of the members in a meaningful way, and also where people really feel they are showing the best part of themselves and not put in a stress of needing to approach or to fit into a format, but really also adapting the format itself. And then also have the info sharing tools. So what are the tools for exchange outside of the event? So when the events are over, how we keep then also the interest there or the exchange with people, and maybe you want to add something to that.
No, I mean, what I wanted to add about this is that at XRVienna, something very interesting happens, that we're actually a lot of introverts, you know, like getting together. So how do you get introverts together and make them talk, you know, and especially after the events, right? Yes. I mean, like, how do we keep in touch if we naturally like don't want to interact too much, right? So we saw that a passive, as you mentioned before, like a passive way of communication works best, that is async. So we have a Discord channel, for example, that is helping a lot, because people can choose when to interact with one another, and they can also read the information back in time with a specific topic, right? I mean, like, we really put a lot of effort in the Discord channel to have to cater different interests and different needs at a particular time of the community. And also something that we're going to start doing this year that we haven't done before is we're going to make a series of educational videos of different topics that ranges from entrepreneurship to how to survive as an introvert and having your own company, for example, or like unconventional topics, yes, so to say, to feed the community with this content. So as you can see, this is something again that you have to see your members, and you have to see what is interesting for your members, right? I mean, what is helping you bring them to the next level with the community. So this is a section, more pragmatic section of this presentation, that is event organizing, right? I mean, we talked about the what, we talked about the why, we talked about the how on an overview, and now like we have very specific tools that we use to organize events, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think sometimes maybe it's a bit scary because you don't know how to start or getting started to organize an event, and also sometimes there is this imagine you're ready to have a huge audience where to fit all these people. And with XRVienna we have the venue setup is always, or the venue itself is playing an important role. We have all different kind of venues because we don't have a fixed place yet, but as we said, we put a lot of value also in these collaborations and networking. So we are really happy when we get a location and a venue, and to have the exchange with the venue itself. And this can be maybe an event with 20 people, 50 or 100 people. But then the atmosphere that we are trying to get is always the same, of this friendly and safe space. And about event planning, so what kind of tools do we use to plan the events? So actually,
it's pretty much an Excel sheet. I mean, we just use the simplest tools possible. You know, like you don't need to pay for 1 million tools to do the work. I mean, of course you can if you can afford it. If you have a huge team that you want your community to have, then by all means have as many tools as you want. But how we do it is just an Excel sheet in which we divide it by different categories. For example, we have the speakers section, we have the venue section, we have the organization section, and of course the expenses, social media, exactly, communication in general. So what we do is we have these different tabs, and in each of them we put all the tasks that need to be done. We write them all together, and then we distribute them fairly, right? To say like, okay, I can take care of this, I can take care of that, and then we add up the hours to make it always fair. But in summary, you don't need fancy tools in order to organize your events, and also your tools can grow with you. So start small, start simple, don't start fancy, just start something. So when it comes to interaction, for example, something that we saw that it was working really well during our events is to make people forget about who they are. I mean, virtual reality is giving us the opportunity to try that, actually, to be someone that we haven't been before. So we put that to the real world, let's say to the physical reality. And we, at the beginning of the events when we were less people, because right now we're too much, we used to have name tags with fantasy names, and we were asking the people, right, like, okay, today you're not yourself, right? I mean, but today you have the chance to be anyone else, so introduce yourself as this person, right? And we heard so many funny comments about who this person was at that day, right?
Yeah, it really helps also, like, people who are maybe a little more introverts or so, just to make the first step of starting exchanging with others also, if it's not just about themselves, but in general, just for the purpose of connecting with others. And I think this is
absolutely. There's a little bit of a theater involved, let's say, and we all enjoy it, right? Yes. I mean, like, we see that everybody enjoys it, so why not continuing this for a bit longer? And so this is also part of the anticipation of the event, right? I mean, like how to keep the communication going before the event and after the event. So we keep it human, right? I mean, we share a lot about our personal stories as well online. Like we really write sometimes individually to some of the people, and we really care. We genuinely care. I mean, there's no formula about how to care for someone other than just caring for someone, right? So this in itself, just by caring, is giving the anticipation to meet in real life, right? Yes. To talk about the things that we were talking offline, online, to talk about it during the event. So this is our pre-event communication. And yes, we reached the summary of our presentation. So
yes, so maybe just to summarize everything. So I think one of the most important points is really to find the uniqueness of your community, or first of all of you, of your team, the diversity of the team, and how your community can be unique. And then really gathering exactly the diverse core team. So as you saw, like, we are a really diverse team, but we work really well together, and I think this is a strength of it. And then collaborating, partnering up is not just about a team, but it's really about also going out and meeting other people and not connecting with them and seeing how we can all create something stronger together. And also searching for fundings is something that we are actually pretty new with that in XRVienna. But I think it's also a necessary step when after so many years and community grows and it gets harder, or you want to create bigger events and involve everybody. Then
if you want to support us, here we are.
Yeah, and then other points are working on your communication skills. Also, as we said, not everybody wants to communicate in the same way, so maybe some feels more comfortable in one way or another one. And I think just working on what is your skill or what you want to really focus on, and keeping it equal, cozy, and safe. So having diversity and everyone is equal, and then. Yeah,
defining your Goldilocks point of networking. What we told you about what does it mean to keep it professional, what does it mean to keep it human, and every community, because it depends on its members, they have different needs. So invest time in finding this Goldilocks point to not make it too hot or too cold, but just right. And then find your voice. We can't stress enough about this point. Find your voice. There's only one you. There's 1,000 other people that you can be, but be you. This is a special part of our community, because your community is going to be a reflection of who you are as a person and as a team. So invest time in finding your voice and in content curation as well. Of course, you can go and just see what others are doing, which is a valid point, like the steal like an artist kind of statement. But it's always more, in our experience, is more substantial, the content, when you actually work, right? When you work in your own content, in your own approach, and you bring something new to the community.
And have this exchange with others. Yeah.
Exactly, you have this exchange with others in a new perspective, under a new light. So share, and which brings to the next point, share and exchange knowledge on and offline. It doesn't have to be too much, but put yourself out there without fear and saying, hey, you know what, I don't know too much about this topic, I want to learn. In XRVienna, no one is going to judge you, So invest time in that as well. Like, encourage people to share knowledge, to exchange knowledge, and of course, with no ego, no shame, if that's what you choose. And take time to plan and prepare. The events are not happening out of magic. There's a lot of effort involved in preparing these events, so invest time in doing it right, not doing it perfect, but doing it right. So, and always, always be thankful. It's not just about your efforts, it's about what the community is giving back to you, and it's also about teamwork. It's a lot about teamwork. So really, it's not just about what you can do, but also like what the others can do in combination with your talents. So always be grateful. So, and this is a bit of a secret that we wanted to keep for you, the pro hacks. This is something that is very, very like our personal approach to it. This is something very personal for us. So we can share the pro hacks if you want.
Yes. So first of all, like, value who you are more than what you know. So we always believe that the person or the human behind the technology or the project itself, and who you are is more important than what you can do or not, because you can always grow your skill and like enhance your project. But who you are, it's really like defining this uniqueness and strength and what you want to achieve with that. And I think this is something that we also really give value on XRVienna.
Absolutely. And also harness the power of diversity of knowledge. Like, we're very happy, like in XRVienna, like we all have a different approach to what we believe is immersive technologies. We all come from different backgrounds. We have scientists, philosophers, artists, psychologists, we have people who are into I don't know, body training, like everybody that is interested in having a say in the conversation, they add value, right? So work on that. Also acknowledge the fact that people don't think the same, like also a very personal aspect for me is the neurodiversity of humans, so actually there's many ways that we can understand information, so invest time on that. And
yeah, then follow your face until your nose bleeds. So
this one is...
yeah, don't be afraid also to fall and to fail, and also don't be afraid of other people just judging you. Or so we are with XRVienna, we're really trying to have a no judging place, but of course this can always come also from other outside of the community itself. And we would really give the advice of not caring too much of that, really trying, and even if you fall, learn how to build then upon that failure and how to be stronger and to bring this experience also back to the community. And
absolutely. And also lower your guard. You know, like in our experience, we also, of course, we are in touch with other communities as well. And we were really saddened to hear, for example, communities dying because of everyone seeing themselves as competitions. Like, oh, what can I share? What can I not share? Because, you know, like this person is going to use this against me, against that. You know, I mean, learn what to share, you know, feel comfortable about what you're sharing. You don't have to share everything, but also don't be with all your alerts on, you know, because in the end, especially in a technology that deals with human experience, the value of our technology comes from our own unique human experience. And don't be afraid to try things your way and to share it with the world. Yeah. So,
and this actually brings also to the last point, is keeping your pride under control and your fear out of the way. We will always say, don't start building walls when you still don't know if you need to have a wall, and really have this ego or this pride under control, not letting it grow too much, and also not letting you have this genuine exchange with other people, but always like thinking about the second purpose. And this is, I think, one of the main elements of the community itself.
Absolutely. And with these words, we want to say thank you very much for listening to us. Thank you for your attention. And if you have any questions, suggestions, if you want to be part of XRVienna, or if you want to support XRVienna in any way, please know we are here for you. Again.
Just write us an email.
Just write us an email. The information is right there on the presentation. We will be really happy to hear from you. So we wish you a happy community building and have fun.
Yes. Bye-bye.